All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. How are you all? Okay, we're going to try that again. I recognize it's Friday night, right? It's going to be a good night, like the Black Eyed Peas said once a long time ago. How are you? Good evening. Yes, that's what I like hearing. We are back for that second annual opportunity. It's not just a celebration of the good things that have happened over the year. It is a little bit of a fundraiser tonight, ladies and gentlemen, right? And remember, it is fun because we got some action-packed prizes right over here that you and your nice little paw, you're going to be able to walk out of here, maybe with a new Microsoft Surface. There's also some grab bags and mystery opportunities over there. If you're a Phoenix native, like I am, there was an old show called Wallace and Ladmo. Anyone remember that? Okay, right? You can leave with what's called a Ladmo bag. That is some deep local sustainability, cultural opportunity there for you. Well, on that, we're going to go ahead and start the second annual GreenLight Solutions event. Thank you for coming tonight. We are here for a reason, not just to have a good time, see our friends, win a little bit of swag, hear some stuff, but you're here. We're all here tonight because we care. We recognize that there are issues out there facing our world, facing our peoples, shocks, stressors, not just from an environmental perspective, but from a humanistic and a social perspective. Even here in Tempe, strife is relevant and prominent, including also in areas like the Global South. So every one of you has shown up tonight because over the years, over the last year and today and moving forward, you give a darn. You're not just sitting idly by, and that really is what is embodied in the solutioneers in GreenLight Solutions, because we want all of us to be a part of this fundamental change. You have agency, you have desire, and you have knowledge, and one heck of a motivating factor, and you are the change agents now and the change agents that we need moving forward. So remember, GreenLight Solutions has kind of two broad perspectives. We have students and we have businesses. So GreenLight Solutions really helps. We'll give you a little bit of conversation about this. We'll talk about the program. Really helps provide these real world applied learning opportunities to students. It gets their nose out of the book, away from the dusty professors, having been one of them for many years. Like, I really want to get out of Colin's classroom, and actually gets their hands dirty. They are doing the sustainability work in the community with businesses, transitioning from theoretical to the applied and the impactful. And as well from an industry and a commercial perspective, partnering with these organizations and businesses out there, this provides a tangible value-adding opportunity for these businesses, yes, to act more sustainably, but to actually drive value for things like competitive advantage, risk reduction, and brand penetration as well. It's good to be with you all tonight. My name is Colin Tatro. I have the pleasure of being your humble, modest, charming, handsome MC for this evening. See how we just kind of, thank you, please. Thank you. Please hold that applause, all right? You know, I'm sorry, I'm taken, okay? It's a pleasure to be here. I am a returning ASU person. I love this event. I love what GLS stands for, and it is my pleasure to be with you all here. I'm an executive in Ernst & Young's Climate Change and Sustainability Services practice. I oversee all of our government and public sector sustainability consulting across the US. I also work with commercial clients. I'm a recovering public policy individual as the former head of sustainability for Phoenix. I work for an organization known as CDP, which is the largest nonprofit for commercial and government disclosure of environmental and social information. But I'm based here. I went to Dobson High School over in East Mesa. I went to kindergarten, I'm joke you not, at Arizona State at the Child Development Lab. My mother was a faculty member in the Department of Marketing. I did my undergrad here. Graduate was a faculty member. I met my wife here. I was once even, it's hard to believe, with all the pizzazz, I was Sparky, the Sun Devil. I know, I let the secret out, right? Now, I don't, let's be honest, there was like, you've got like football Sparky, that's like Sparky, right? I was public appearance and step and repeat picture Sparky. They're like, Sparky, hold my baby, take a picture at the opening of the Dillards. I was that person. But it's good to be with you here tonight. And the opportunity is significant. I want to call to your attention, in particular, over on the right-hand side, my left, your right, throughout the evening. If you have not, you can take a look at them now if you need to excuse yourself. But grab that phone, whip it out, scan that QR code. I want you to open that and give early and give often. This is not going to be an actual paddle race, but it is a raffle. $5. Toss a couple of bucks in there, save that latte. You're going to walk off with some great prizes. Here's the fun thing. Folks at home, we appreciate you. You want to dial in and participate. You have to be present to win. So guess what? If you're in here tonight, hearing me drone on in person as opposed to the internet, you will walk away with a very good likelihood of one of these fantastic prizes. I intend to put some raffle tickets in. I hope you do it as well. Here's our agenda for tonight. It's going to be an action-packed, insane. Just wait, we have karaoke actually on the agenda. Ashley doesn't know that, but I've just added it. This is the MC's prerogative. We're going to do karaoke right here after the raffle winners. But really, we're going to do a few things. GreenLight Solutions, we're going to share the impact. We're going to have remarks by the chair of the organization. We're going to have some keynotes from some of our wonderful partners and our sponsors as well. And then we're going to have the celebration, our community and our student impact awards. And I'm really excited to share the amazing individuals and organizations with you tonight that are making a difference every day here. All right, let's see. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors for the night. So GreenLight Solutions, in addition to this evening, support for the organization of investing in these change agents goes to people like InfoSol. They're a leader in business intelligence solutions and SAP Business Objects Consulting, products education, and technical support. How about Mill? Did you all see the Mill right out there? Pretty fancy, right? I actually have one of those things in my house. It is pretty snappy. So Mill, right? They're on a mission to end food waste. It's odorless, effortless. It has that Scandinavian chic associated with it as well, right? Just fits in with that nice IKEA decor. And it's an automated food recycler, taking, not joking, all of that organic stuff and turning it into this nutrient-dense compost that I actually put right into our compost gardens. I encourage you to take a look at that. And then, of course, the corporate overlord for tonight, the ASU College of Global Futures. No, really, thank you to ASU for hosting us in the College of Global Futures with its, see, when I came here, like this didn't even exist, right? You've got the School for Future of Innovation in Society, the School of Sustainability, the School of Complex Adaptive Systems, just let that ruminate for a moment, and the School of Ocean Future. So really, thank you to ASU, thank you to InfoSol, and thank you to Mill for helping to make tonight possible. It's my pleasure next to introduce the chairperson of GreenLight Solutions. They're going to take you through a bit more of the program. He goes by the name Max, but to all of us, he's a dream maker. He's over at Caltech, the California Institute of Technology. And if you're unfamiliar with what he oversees, yes, his title says big poobah of sustainability. It actually says that on his business card. But what he works with lasers. This is Caltech, mind you, better than MIT. That's a kind of an old joke. He works with lasers, cats, lasers on cats, right? This is one of the most high-performance engineering entities in the world, working with people like the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, running the comprehensive sustainability portfolio, driving that institution across its 6 major divisions home.
Thank you, Colin, and thank you all for being here tonight. Wanted to start by, again, thanking the sponsors of tonight's event. Wanted to thank the founders of GreenLight Solutions, the GreenLight Solutions board, and mostly all of you for being here. I really do appreciate it. This is a meaningful organization to many in this room, but all of you may be coming here tonight for different reasons. Whether you're a longtime community member or a new face to the community, we welcome you here tonight. Where are you all coming from? Not just in terms of location, geography, but where are you coming from in your career? Where are you coming from in terms of where you're at in life, what your interests are? Maybe you work in sustainability and you came to network and join forces with others. Maybe you want to find a way to get involved and give back to the community. Perhaps you're a business owner or a professional that's looking to get involved in the sustainability business. And maybe you're just about to launch your own career. You're right at that starting point, and you want to gain experiential learning opportunities. We believe that GreenLight has opportunities for all of those folks and more. And so ultimately, whatever your reason is for being here tonight, we thank you for being here. And I personally thank you for being here. All of the board members do. And so let's talk about GreenLight. Let's learn a little bit about the impact we've had so far and where we're going from here. So GreenLight, our bread and butter, our first initial program, what started everything, GreenLight was started here at ASU back in 2013. We've been through over a decade now of time, a journey from a student organization to a nonprofit. We've worked with 386 students. That means that we have an alumni core that is very strong. 90 projects have been worked on by 66 businesses. So we have some recurring business partners, but a lot of new partners. This is value for both the business and the individual. It's experiential learning opportunities that I very much cherish when I was here at ASU and in my other higher education experiences. It gets you out of the classroom and ultimately experiencing what you're going to experience when you do get that diploma and you're taking that next step in life. That is the bread and butter of GreenLight. But we've expanded our programs from there. From there, we moved on to our green event services, which is a really emerging field. It's something that's gaining a ton of traction in recent years. I think especially with the proliferation of single-use goods during COVID, there's been an ever-increasing emphasis on green events being more responsible with waste, trying to avoid the generation of waste in the first place. So this is our fastest growing program. 28 events GreenLight has been a part of. We're the main waste and recycling and overall material partner for all of these businesses. We've diverted 29 tons of waste. That's equivalent to 81 tons of CO2 prevented. But ultimately, we've gotten so many people together and partnered with so many different individuals and businesses to help make this happen. And so it really has provided value and learning on the job as these events are happening. Moving beyond that, we have our GreenLight boot camps. You can think of these as sort of a condensed version of our regular student sustainability projects. You can see the numbers there, worked with 36 students on 7 projects, 3 businesses. If a business or an individual is not able to go through the entire semester-long or year-long student-led sustainability project, this is a great alternative. So we try to be flexible here at GreenLight as we develop our new programs. And then ultimately, last but not least, is our sustainability seminars. This is more business focused. So this is where we go in. I'm in my day job, essentially this go-to person for sustainability. So if someone has a question about sustainability, or if I'm just bugging them about something that I think we should be doing as a business to be more sustainable, that is what I do. But not every business, especially smaller ones, have those point people. And so ultimately, we develop these programs as another condensed version, quick learning, get the right people in the room, 93 learners, just 8 hours. We've done this with 4 businesses. It's a really condensed, lightning fast course, essentially just darting through all of the sustainability options that a business can take. And that's really helpful for businesses if they want to get this done in a short amount of time. And then ultimately, that is what makes up GreenLight right now. And so we're proud of the work that we've done so far, and I'm excited for you all to hear about the forward-looking work that we have in front of us. There's a lot to do, as you all know. There's a lot of work that needs to be done here in the city of Tempe, at ASU, the state of Arizona, in the United States, and in the world. There's so much sustainability work to do, and GreenLight is happy to be doing our little part of it. And we hope that you all will contribute to that through getting involved, as well as participating in that raffle. As Colin said much more eloquently than I did, there are some fantastic prizes in the back of the room. We'll be doing the raffle as the last part of our official program here. But every dollar that you contribute does directly fund all of the work that we do at GreenLight. It helps these students, it helps these businesses, it helps us grow sustainability impact. So we do appreciate that. But enough from me, enough of the boring stuff. Let's turn it over to our keynote speaker, Shai Sahadi. Shai is a business lead and founding team member of Mill. Mill makes it easy to present prevent food waste at home with an innovative new kitchen experience, and pathways that keep food out of landfills. Prior to Mill, Shai Sayati was a product lead at Dice, a leading independent ticketing platform, and Nest, the leading brand for a connected home, which was then acquired by Google. Shai received his bachelor's degree in environmental science from UCLA. Shai, we're honored to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much, Max and Ashley and the GreenLight Solutions team for inviting me to join this evening. It's really an honor to be a part of such an amazing community of sustainability leaders and learners. So it's a really special moment that we can all come together to explore all the different ways that we can empower each other and future generations of solutioneers and sustainability leaders. It can be dizzying as well to think about all the opportunities, all the problems, the challenges that we can tackle. So tonight I'd like to offer one that has actually brought Mill and GreenLight Solutions together and many of the familiar faces in this room, and that's the topic of waste. So this is something that we can address immediately and actually quite easily. So I'd like to start with a little review of the common items that we are typically disposing of on a day-to-day basis. Each of these are actually resources. So we all know that the aluminum can go into making new aluminum cans. The apple core can be composted to help grow more apples. And the plastic bottle can go to be recycled to be new plastic bottle. So where does the waste come in? Well, the waste actually happens when these materials mix and it becomes too costly for us to separate them to ensure that they can go off to become the resources that we can reuse and over and over again. So as we know, GreenLight Solutions does this amazing work to intercept and ensure that folks are keeping things in the separate bins. But if we think about what the common household or business has access to, it's just so much easier to put everything in the same place. And it gets picked up in a truck, and then it's sent to a landfill where this resource is no longer recoverable. The sad news is that a lot of us have grown up thinking about how important it is to recycle our plastics. Truth is that only 6% of all the plastics that we're putting into those blue bins are actually getting recycled. And similarly, only 6% of all residential food waste is actually being composted. So we have this major dilemma, and some would say one of the dumbest problems that we're faced with, which is that we're just throwing away these incredibly valuable resources, and we just continue to extract new resources rather than being able to reuse the ones that we have right in front of us. So how do we change this system? And it's going to start with each of us. And so that's what I'm really excited to chat with you all about this evening. So if we look at it at a high level, there's some really interesting parallels in areas where we have actually done this before. So let's take solar, for example. We have always been reliant, or we're all used to being reliant on centralized resources for water and power. And with the rise of solar panels, a lot more homes are now setting up their own panels on their roofs and being able to capture some of that renewable energy themselves and reduce their reliance on the centralized grid. How might we start to consider that the food waste or any of the waste that we're generating in our households is actually a resource that we can capture and be able to use ourselves as well? Next is, how do we create a more delightful experience around these materials? So we think about garbage. And by definition, or the connotation, or when we think about garbage, it's something you just want to have out of sight, out of mind. And that's because it can smell, it can attract flies, the bags can rip and drip. It's something that we just want to get rid of. Even the term that we use is throwing away because we just don't want to have to deal with it. But if we could make that a delightful experience where now it's something that you can actually see, hey, I've got this valuable thing. I don't need to be fending off all these different pain points. How might that change the way we deal with this material? And last, we have the opportunity to shift the language and and the rhetoric that we have around these things, from waste management, which is this linear outcome where we use it, we drink a soda and then toss the can, or we eat the apple core, then we eat the apple and we toss the core, we drink the bottle and toss the bottle, to a circular outcome where we're preventing the waste altogether. The resource remains separate, and it continues to be a resource that we can leverage and use. So where do we start, right? Similar to the universe of opportunities that we can consider that each of us can start to tackle, waste encompasses a massive industry. So let me offer a nice starting point. Food. Food is the largest fraction of material that we send to landfills. And it's not just about this resource going to waste, but to add insult to injury, this food breaks down in the absence of oxygen to produce methane, which, as we all know, is poisoning our planet. Now, we dig in a little bit more closely into the sources of this food waste, and what emerges is that we, as our households, are the primary contributors of this landfill food waste. So this was very surprising to me. I always thought, restaurants or other types of food service generators, but if you look at it, collectively, we are the ones responsible for contributing to this waste. So we start to realize that this is not a infrastructure, there is infrastructure implications, there are a variety of different things that contribute to this, but it's actually a behavior change problem that we're trying to tackle here. And so for this to work, we need to address behavior. What is behavior? How do we think about this, right? So it's what we do every day without having to really think about it. And so I jumped right into sharing about what this problem and this opportunity we can tackle is. But to share with you a little bit about my background, I used to work for a company called Nest, which you'll see, and it was actually my first job out of college. And for those of you students in the room, I ended up at Nest because one of my friends from college, we were booking bands together on campus. He started working there. I was like, hey, Shai, you should come along. I didn't know anything about thermostats. I didn't know anything about I'd studied environmental science in school, but I hadn't really considered that my work would lead me into the home energy space. So what we learned there is we took an unloved product, the thermostat, and realized, like, my gosh, this thing is accountable for 50% of our home's energy use, our heating and cooling. So if we can make it a little bit more convenient for people to manage that, then just maybe we can actually help make a dent in their energy consumption as well. We ended up saving hundreds of billions of kilowatt hours. And fast forward to 4 years ago, my same friend who told me about Nest reaches out to me and says, hey, Shai, I want to start a new company. And I'm really curious about how we can tackle food waste. So for reference, I know Max mentioned this, I was in London, I was working in music, I had no plans of moving back to the States, and I got this friend of mine who it was always a matter of when, not if, that we would be working together. So he said, hey, do you want to come and get into composting and food waste with me? I said, well, I don't know, man. It's kind of a different world. I don't know anything about it. Similar to how I didn't really know much about the home energy use space. But I said, you know what? You're pulling together a team that I'm really inspired by. And the more and more we dug into this problem together, the more we just said, hey, this seems, there's a lot of parallels with what we learned at Nest to what we can do here in the food waste space. So we got together a group of some of our favorite and the people that we had worked with, some of the people we most deeply respected to become our advisors. And truly, I mean, I'm looking around the faces here in the room, I've learned so much even from being here, from the folks who've been in this industry and working towards these issues for many more years than I've even been aware of this. So we ended up building this thing. So what is this thing? It's a new kind of kitchen appliance. At first glance, I know there is the Scandinavian chic and whatnot, but the goal was to actually capture the imagination that the way we manage kitchen scraps in our home does not have to be something that we have always associated with a real back to basics activity that may not be for everybody. So for those of you that compost at home, kudos to you. We're reverent of the work that you're doing. We designed this and plan to design many more iterations of these type of appliances because we believe that we need to get everybody to participate in keeping food out of the trash. So what does this thing do, right? We're calling it a food recycler. It's automated, it's odorless. To put it very simply, it's a floor-standing dehydrator. And what that does is you put your scraps in, it heats them up to about 212 degrees Fahrenheit overnight, grinds them with these augers, and you turn your wet scraps into dry grounds. And what happens in the process is the moisture that's evaporated passes through a charcoal filter that's in the back of the bin and results in just water vapor coming out of the device and you being left with this really dry, compact material that is not compost. It's just food minus the water. We've repackaged it so we could take all the bits of it that have made people reluctant to handle it or, made it more convenient to just throw it away and get it out of sight, out of mind, into something that sparks curiosity. Like, wait a second, I've got a resource on my hands and maybe I can now contemplate some new uses for it beyond just getting rid of it. And we did a lot of research, similar to how we started Nest. We started by just studying what's the universe of different solutions that are out there today and where are they coming short. And the number one thing, this may be subjective, but the number one thing that's blocking the people who are not doing this is the smell. So we put a lot into making sure that the way that the air is flowing through the device is getting rid of all the smells, and you've got a charcoal filter that you only have to replace about once a year. It's got a couple million square meters of surface area to catch all the odor. So why all this attention to these details, right? Because the core mission of our business is to outsmart waste, and we believe we can do that by driving behavior change. And what's gated that behavior has been things like smell and even just awareness. So we also have the ability to measure everything that you've put in over time. So now you're not only considering, hey, I've generated this many scraps, but actually, I want to start to waste less food to begin with. That's really what we're going for, is how do we become more mindful about our consumption in the process of managing what's left over after we've used it. And not just doing this in a way where, great, you've dried and ground your food and then go figure it out, but the whole value of this resource comes from how it's ultimately used. So why I'm here with you all today, and really the opportunity that we have here in the Phoenix Valley, is that all of this material that can be generated is going to go to support local farming. And that, if you go back, actually, you'll see we have JD from Recycled City started an incredible program where you can take your wet food scraps, put them in a 5-gallon plastic bucket, have it picked up weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and brought to a local farm. And at that farm, it's composted and then used to grow fresh vegetables that those same trucks that are coming to pick up your food scraps can now be delivering fresh vegetables to your door. We looked all around the country and we had not come across another service like this. So we were really inspired by what JD and Recycled City had built and wanted to make sure that we can be able to contribute to that. So this is the loop, and you can click ahead. We're introducing a new model that's similar to what I had shared earlier. It's decentralized, and it's ultimately empowering everybody who is participating to even just know that there is this type of option available to keep your food out of the trash and to be able to ultimately recapture that value in the form of fresh vegetables coming from the local farm. And we're starting to collaborate with a variety of different communities around the country. We have a few different examples of how we're working with each of them. And ultimately, the opportunity comes from us all collaborating and working together. So without the efforts of Recycled City and GreenLight Solutions, I actually met the GreenLight Solutions team with Dawn. We were separating scraps at Diablo Stadium spring training. And that was the light bulb moment where it's like, hey, what if we could prevent this material from ending in the trash in the first place so that we can be able to drive a greater impact altogether. Thank you all so much.
Shai, thank you. We appreciate that. I want to say personally thank you to Shai and JD. So I have this lovely Scandinavian item at home. Don't worry, I'm not on the payroll, right, of Mill yet. Okay, finder's fee. Okay, I'm happy to hug for you. I expect my royalty check, Shai. Actually, it's a ton of fun. So yes, we had that ick factor before. Who loves the juice in the bottom? You're just, I didn't have to say more. You're like, ugh, everybody knows that, right? How do you think my 8-year-old feels having to take out historically the little compost pail to our city piece and bucket in the back, which we love. And now my 8-year-old, using the power of technology and Swedish design, just tosses all of this into the mill, borrows our phone, checks the status of it, and actually adores doing this. And she's like, Dad, can I add more food scraps to the mill? And it's fun, right? So it's also teaching behavior. It's keeping stuff out of the landfill. It's reducing methane. So Shai, team, thank you for your support of GreenLight Solutions. We appreciate and honor you as well. So thank you. So in addition to honoring that, I want to honor our lovely raffle. Remember, folks, we've got our Microsoft Surface Go 3. If you're looking for that little helper to take with you on your next long-haul flight over to some existential and surrealistic vacation, and you need to burn some time looking at cat videos, right? Mike can help you with that. We got lasers and cat videos galore coming out of Caltech. You can do it on this sort of thing. Now, for only that $5, you can slip it on there. I also want to mention, if we hit $3,500 tonight, one of our sponsors and investors is going to match that with an extra $1,000 going direct to GreenLight Solutions. I'll also add some of those grab bags over there. Remember, 5 clams. You're going to net guaranteed at least a $100 Amex gift card and some other goodies in there as well. So if you want to talk about business and consult, we call that margin and return on investment. 5 clams netting you 100, that's a good payoff. That's a nice payday, don't you think? And there's actually 2 of these. We've got a 3 and we've got a 2 and 3 grab bags over there. So I encourage you to hop onto that QR code. Let's see if you can bring that home tonight. We appreciate that. All right. Now we're going to move to the Gratitude Awards. This is the fun part, honestly. Shai, you're fun. This is also fun as well. I don't want to be dismissive of the fun, right? We're going to talk about a little of the past, and then we're going to pivot to the present day. And this is why we're here. It's to honor this work. So I want to take a moment to actually center the 4 core values of GreenLight Solutions. Number 1, folks in GreenLight Solutions are purpose-driven, who seek to create meaningful impact and prioritize environmental, societal, and economic well-being. Number 2, solutions-oriented. We're not just thinking about things, we're doing this, right? We put theory into practice, and they want to go beyond advocacy into tangible action. Number 3, equitable empowerment, centering equity in all of the work that GreenLight Solutions does. They want to break down those barriers of sustainability and create a culture of anything is possible for anyone. And number 4, forward thinking, being contemplative, not resting on our laurels, also always asking what's next. And they want to, carve their own path and disrupt the status quo. So with that framing, I think it's nice to be able to mention the past. Last year at the 10-year anniversary. Who was here for that 10-year anniversary last year? Raise your hand, come on, put it up. It was a party. Right? Those of you who weren't here, just wait. The after party for 11, even better. Kevin's actually buying all of the beverages at 4 Peaks. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that. He's like, oh, what did I get myself into? I want to recenter the 4 major winners from last year, and then we're going to give them a little bit of a round of applause. Number 1 was the Purpose Driven Award. That was with our friends over at Green Living Magazine, Dory and the team. Number 2, our Solutions Oriented Award went to the Stardust Building Supplies, keeping stuff out of the landfill, empowering others, putting people to work. Number 3, the Equitable Empowerment Award went to Michael Corden, who was recognized for his 4 projects with GreenLight Solutions over the years. You're back, Mike. We appreciate it. Thanks for continuing your support then and now. And our Forward Thinking Award was with InfoSol for their collaboration on a reporting dashboard in order to showcase the impact of the organization. So let's give a big round of applause for our previous winners. Thank you. We had 4, and we've got 4 this year, plus another 4. The impact has grown, moving into now the next decade. Isn't that crazy to say? The next decade of GreenLight Solutions. A decade behind us, a decade moving forward of even more impact. We've got 4 students and 4 organizations that we want to recognize here tonight. So our first 2024 Student GreenLight Gratitude Award is going to be going to the Solutions Oriented Award. And this highlights an individual that puts their theory into practice and goes beyond advocacy into action. And this is going to go to Sarah Kistner, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah, congratulations. Now, Sarah's team has done this by developing an actionable, accessible solution for small to medium-sized businesses. She's graduating, wait for it, from Harvard University this month with her master's in sustainability. That's a pretty big deal. And in her time with GLS, she's led sustainability projects, serves as a project lead for GLS Sustainability Reporting Dashboard team. She's developed her business track and their sustainability data, and she's worked on app development, prospecting, and market research. Now, Sarah resides in this little wonderful place that we all want to go to with your Surface Pro, right? In the country of Italy. So she's joining us virtually here today. And over to Sarah.
Hi guys, I just want to start off by saying thank you, and I am so honored to be receiving the Solutions Oriented Award. I am so proud of what my team and I accomplished this project cycle. Miranda and Tripti really were essential to completing this project and the success that we had. And I'd also like to shout out our amazing project partner, Sean. He was a great leader, really gave us amazing direction and mentored us in the best way for us to move forward as sustainability professionals. I just want to say that I'm really proud to be a part of the GreenLight Solutions community. This organization really takes the time to empower students and to bring us up to our best levels. My favorite quote actually is from Steve Prefontaine. He was an amazing runner, ran in the Olympics, but he said to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And I think that that really embodies these awards, and GreenLight Solutions especially, that all of us, the other award winners, all of the team members came together. We each individually brought our best, and we achieved amazing things in our project cycle, and I'm so proud of all of us. And I think that that really demonstrates the future of sustainability, is that we all need to come together and bring our best and our talents to achieve great things. So I just want to say thank you one more time. Have a great night, and I hope to meet some of you guys in person. Bye.
Sarah, thank you. Let's give her another round of applause for Sarah joining us from Italy. We appreciate that. Moving on to number 2, we have the Forward Thinking Award, which features a student that is carving a unique path and disrupting the status quo. This year, it's being awarded to Manasa Sriram. Manasa, congratulations. Her project. Well, see, just Italy, they just want to butt right in. They got the boot at the bottom of the country right there. They just want to go right on in. Right? Their project teams have helped their GLS project partners disrupt the status quo through their unique sustainability solutions. Manasa is a sophomore here at ASU and is a Barrett Honors Fellow. In her time with GLS-led sustainability projects, Manasa has served as a project lead for their dynamic and green loop projects. These project teams have expanded the dynamic online sustainability database by 190 resources and surveyed 16 customers and suppliers for Green Loop, a plastic wood company. She couldn't join us tonight, but she brings us here with the power of video. So Manasa, thank you.
Hello, this is Manasa Shriram. I wanted to voice my appreciation for being granted the Forward Thinking Award. I wanted to specifically thank each and every one of you guys out here tonight to support our lovely panelists. And I also wanted to thank Ashley, Megan, Yasmin, Mihail, Anurag, all the wonderful project partners, mentors, and staff that have been helping me throughout this journey. It's truly been a lovely experience working with each and every one of you, and I wish you all the best in all your future endeavors. And once again, thank you for this award.
Another round of applause for Manasa. Thank you. So as you can tell, GreenLight Solutions is not just domestic, it is global, and I think that's what your impact and opportunity has here tonight. So I do another gentle reminder, take a look at that raffle code. Even if you're joining us online, I encourage you to do that as well. Give early, give often. This is not like voting in Chicago. It's okay to give more than once, okay? That's an old political joke. Anyone get that? Wi-Fi? ASU guest, Tammy, I think that's probably going to be the best thing. If not, we got that good 5G walking around campus. You can actually do that and easily connect on this Microsoft Surface 3 next time you're here. You like that bridge? So our next two awardees are actually here. They're corporeal. They're going to be joining us here actually on our panel directly after this. So I'll encourage them to just do a bit of a stand and a wave, and then we're going to actually hear from them here in a little bit. So our next award is the Purpose-Driven Student. That's right, elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, wipe a tear, blow a kiss, is our Purpose-Driven Student Award. And this highlights an organization that has created meaningful impact and prioritizes environmental, social, and economic well-being. Now, this individual, we're going to say this person at the end, their project team has embraced these values by supporting the launch of Green Loop, whose mission is to provide job opportunities to vulnerable communities and advance a circular economy. So not just having environmental, but a justice, equity, and a social component to that. This individual is studying sustainability right here at Arizona State University. She's currently a project lead for BUZZ, a GLS student-led sustainability project, and her team has served as ambassadors for the community-based EV charging company BUZZ, whose mission is to get 1 million EVs on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize Danielle Nguyen. Danielle, congratulations. Last but not least is the Equitable Empowerment Award. It highlights an individual who breaks down barriers to sustainability and creates a culture of anything is possible. Now, this individual in her team's work has exemplified these values by creating sustainability resources that are all-inclusive to the small and medium-sized business community. This individual is a graduate student earning her master's at the ASU School of Sustainability. That is pretty fancy. Is a project lead for the student-led sustainability project with GreenLight Solutions. And the project team, Local-Fi, created a work-from-home sustainability guide and an employee environmental benefits program where they provided energy audits and energy efficiency resources for Local-Fi employees. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our winner this year, Taylor McMahon. Well done. That is an A+ right there for the wave. So let's do this. Let's invite some of our recent awardees. Let's invite Max right on up here to the panel. We're going to now have a nice little discussion about how do we empower the next generation. So a big round of applause to our awardees. Let's bring Max back to the stage.
Congrats again to you both. So now we can have a little discussion. These are some of the fun things that, it's great to hear different perspectives in sustainability. It's a field that's grown so tremendously over the last 15 to 20 years, really come into its own. You all have had different experiences as far as areas of sustainability you focus into. It's such a broad field, a lot of different areas. But before we get to your GreenLight experience, I wanted to ask just maybe a couple of nerdy industry specific questions. So Danielle, specific to EV charging, is there anything you can tell us about the challenges of building out that massive infrastructure needed to either supplement or replace the gas station infrastructure?
Yes, definitely. So I guess for context too, so our project, we worked on there's individuals out there who own EVs and they may not be able to charge from their homes because maybe they rent or, they're there temporarily. But there's also people who are homeowners and they also have EVs and they have EV charging infrastructure within their homes. So the CEO of our company that we worked with, his name's Aaron Lieberman, the innovator that he falls into that latter category. So he has an EV and he also has that charging at his home, but he found that he only charges twice a week. So he thought, is there any way that I could potentially let a neighbor use my charger to increase that accessibility for EV charging? So he created this app that allows those two groups of people to be connected together. So we found that with our outreach, we started with in-person outreach at various superchargers to promote the app, right? And so talking to these people, we found that it's kind of interesting because there's also people who are quite into this idea, but there's also a lot of people who might be a little hesitant and there's pushback there because, the common concern was, I don't want some random stranger in my house, or I don't want someone charging that I don't know. And so I would say with EV infrastructure, there's an issue of accessibility. And so there's a lot of potential there, but we need to be changing attitudes with sharing like our current infrastructures because we aren't able to maybe build, millions of superchargers currently. So we need to be really creative with the solutions we come up now. So there's a lot of opportunity there, but we still have a long way to go. So, yeah.
Excellent. And similarly, Taylor, there's been a lot of developments in the work from home world, certainly over the last 3 to 4 years. Just anecdotally, I live in Los Angeles. I've noticed the highways are busier than ever. People feels like commuting just as much, if not more, than they used to. But there's been some trends that have stuck around. I guess from the disruption of the pandemic, some good, some bad. Tell us about sort of how that world is developing and your experience with it.
That is like an interesting field that's definitely we've all had to tackle with COVID. We all had to change our habits. When the pandemic hit, we had to change how we lived our lives normally. And that kind of exemplifies sustainability as well. It's kind of just based on changing your normal habits and adapting to new things that previously you didn't have to, and having to realize the impact of that as well. The pandemic, we saw that there's a dramatic impact of what we do as humans on the planet, and that's the same to go for sustainability as well. So in terms of work from home, there's obviously a lot people are working from home now and also going back to work, and it's kind of just realizing that we do need to change our habits, and it's just a matter of time before anything like another pandemic or another dramatic global change happens again. So I'm hoping that with guides that we created with Localfi, that we can not only spread to just businesses, organizations, but students just ever across the world, just making it accessible for everyone. It's just even more possible that it is a global thing that we're all a part of, no matter where you work, no matter where you go to school. It's just everyone's all in this together. So it's really up to everyone to make those individual changes like we did in the past.
Right. The workforce continues to develop specifically in sustainability for you both. You're just about to be entering the workforce. You have some of this applied experience that you've gotten from GreenLight. Just for the audience, can you shed a little bit of light on your thoughts on the current workforce and sustainability, how you feel stepping into it, and perhaps how GreenLight affected essentially where you see yourself now and where you want to go?
Oh, yeah. And so I think there's also within sustainability, or honestly, just any field in general, there's some people who maybe know what they want to do from a very early age. Maybe like, you're passionate, you're driven from the age of 12, so you know what you want to do. There's also people who, are still trying to explore and find, many opportunities of what they could potentially do in the future. So I find myself falling into that latter category. And so it's really interesting because the field of sustainability, as many of you probably know in this room, it touches on so many different things. So, there's that potential fear of there's so many things, what do I do? there's also the nice thing, which is there's so many things that you can do. And so the nice thing about GreenLight is that it allowed me to, and I think I'm assuming to many of our other team members, but it gave us the opportunity to really explore several different facets of sustainability and what it has to offer. So I felt very fortunate with my team. We were able to participate and kind of try out an amalgamation of different things. So whether that be in-person outreach at those superchargers and talking to people one-on-one, or also doing online outreach where you're just sending messages to people, trying to get them to promote the app through Facebook. And so, or even, creating social media posts. And so I could go on and on, but so the nice thing about GreenLight is it gives you the opportunity to try all those things out. And so and it gives you room to, try different things, and it narrows down it helps narrow down your interests. So that's how I found, the power of GreenLight. That's how it helped me.
Or do you have a similar experience?
Definitely. Just to share, like, from where I came from, I went to UCLA as well for undergrad. I got my bachelor's in environmental science, and I didn't know what sustainability was as a concept. I went there just because I really enjoy environmental science. I knew there was a global impact and much to do, but I didn't know where to go from that. So coming into my senior year graduating, I was introduced to corporate sustainability, and that there was even a field in the workspace of being able to collaborate with businesses and helping them minimize their impact. So that just inspired me even more. And then coming here to ASU with their amazing master's program, I've been provided and been exposed to so many different people that have inspired me as well to just know that there's so much to do in this space, which kind of leads me to what she was saying. It's pretty overwhelming. I think you can ask any sustainability student. It's very overwhelming, this space. There's so much to do. There's so many different projects, so many ideas, but it's kind of like, where do I even start? So I think not only ASU, but GreenLight really helps with that. It gives you direction. It gives you different projects and different skill sets you can work on, and then later apply when you're applying for jobs, getting to work with different people, working with Localfy as well. It's a great company, Kim and Isaac. Getting to collaborate with them just as business leaders, I've learned so much from them as well. And they given me so many skills that I will implement when I'm working and going into workforce. And what I'm most exciting about just from working with them as well is collaborating with different people that don't work in sustainability, entrepreneurs, stakeholders that don't have the background I have, but getting to learn from them as well and getting their experience, and then being able to create amazing ideas and innovation together that we can both implement. So I really am glad that I had that experience with Localfy and GreenLight as well from that.
So starting with a breadth of experience and then getting exposed to that and ultimately going in depth into one or a couple of chosen areas. In a similar vein, if you could pass on one thing to the next generation of sustainability solutioneers, very apropos for our theme tonight of empowering the next generation, what would be that one thing that you would pass on to those future solutioneers?
Well, I would say during my time here too, I would say don't forget to have fun. So that might sound juvenile, but what I mean by that is that oftentimes in the sustainability space, you're really dealing with hard, heavy, serious issues, right? And so, and the work that we all do is so meaningful, but sometimes if, that overwhelming weight of the world gets too much, then you lose sight of why you're even doing this. So we need to prioritize working in this space in a sustainable way, right? And so so to have fun is to, remember why you're doing this, and remember, why you got into this space in the first place, and the meaningful results that come out of this experience is just so, that's the crucial in how we create change in this world. And so I would say, don't forget to have fun.
Taylor?
I would definitely piggyback off that. I feel like as students and just people in general, we definitely get lost in the work sometimes, and then we lose the fun out of it. But definitely I wanted to keep with my team and with my project partners just to enjoy the work we're doing. It's really impactful for not only us, but the deliverables that we make. So yeah, just to have fun, we're doing it and we're inspiring more people. So there's a lot of good in it. I would also say as well, just that there's so much to learn. Like, it's not only in sustainability, you're as a role, it's just to inspire other people, just to learn about it, to implement in their lives, but also learn from the people around you. I learned so much from Isaac, and I'm so excited to learn from more people that I get to collaborate with in the future. So there's so much that you can apply to yourself that's just not just sustainability, but it's also working with other people, collaborating, making new ideas. So there's way more to bring in all together just from working in projects and working with so many different people with different perspectives.
Great, and similarly sort of distilling it down, the student program is just $5 a month. We have multiple students on scholarship. There's a lot more that's needed to allow these programs to run. We have many people in the audience, donors, sponsors, who ultimately enable these programs to happen, many more online and who aren't here today. What would you say to those folks as a pitch for ultimately the value that you see and why it's important that these programs continue to run?
Right, so I'll say whether it be a $5 donation or with the student program paying $5 or $10, $100, or whatever you want to, donate, that'll probably be the best investment you'll make in your life. So kind of tying it back to the name of this event, with that donation, it's honestly just more than money, but you are empowering the next generation. So you're giving them an opportunity that has been bestowed upon us. So getting the chance to try different things and work on real life sustainability projects that improve the world, one project cycle at a time, but it's really motivational. And yeah, you're basically investing in our future. And so, that might sound like a big, ask, but so, anything helps. And so your contributions, no matter how small or little, it will make a difference. And you see that reflected in the work that all these students do, within the past 10 decades. If you look on, their website and their blog posts, I wanted to pitch that too. It's really cool. But seeing all the work that has been done and is that will happen, in the next decade or however long, GreenLight will last. But yeah, the contributions are directly kind of reflected in the amazing work. So that's my pitch.
I mean, that was an amazing response. I don't even know how to be better than that. Yeah, like literally even just us sitting here right now and being able to talk about this and have these opportunities of those donations and just all the work from the donors and the sponsors. So I can only speak for myself, but all the students that are involved in GreenLight and just the students in the past, in the future, all of it, all of the work that we're being able to implement, and then even in our future careers, what we get from this experience is all coming back from that. So I just say personally thank you, but I know there's just way more things that are going to come from it. So I'm just really glad that we got the opportunity to accept that and be a part of it.
You heard it from them. Danielle, Taylor, thanks very much.
Danielle, Taylor, Max, thank you again for that wonderful and invigorating piece. As you heard it, that last pitch right there for that investment, not just for the continuance of this, but really for the impact and the opportunity that your investment provides tonight. So just a little bit of an update. You've only got about 2 more minutes. If you want to take home one of those sweet little prizes, we're going to be closing that raffle here basically after Ashley's remarks, which I have the very fortunate pleasure and opportunity now to introduce the wonderful executive director of GreenLight Solutions. Actually, unlike the Hair Club for Men, right, is not just a member, is also the president. Again, old reference right there. Really got to update this material so it lands better, right? When we actually think about somebody who has been a solutioneer, has helped build the organization, who has worked on it for years out of love, passion, desire for that impact, actually really embodies that. And when we think about the work that she's done, leading over 55 different projects and engagements, 20 different discrete waste diversion projects, being a program coordinator from this, right? Also finishing her master's in sustainable solutions in 2019, now with the very fortunate opportunity of her at the helm of helping to propel us forward and continuing to drive impact for the next 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Ashley Weissman. Ashley.
So thank you guys so much for being here tonight and for each of your personal contributions. Whether your contributions have started 11 years ago since our inception, or they are starting here tonight, or something in between. So next slide for me, please. So I think we can all agree that the heart of any business is its workforce, right? Behind any organization is the people behind it. No entity is stronger than the people behind it, right? And I think this really reigns true in several ways here today. First, GreenLight's impact, it's not GreenLight, it's you. It's the volunteers that are at the waste sort table for 15 hours at a time, getting down and dirty, sorting through the waste, tons and tons of waste. It's our students and our student-led projects that work for hours upon hours on their deliverables for the local business community. It's our mentors that spend a ton of time providing feedback and mentorship to our students. It's our sponsors and it's our donors that really, again, make this possible. The heart of any business is its workforce, the people behind it, each of you. Another way that this really resonates here tonight is that we're all here because we agree that the workforce of tomorrow is the pathway to a brighter future. We know all the challenges that are happening today, and that's really what we do. We give students applied learning, experiential learning, resources, a platform, a playground to really be able to hone their skills and expand their skills. And businesses, a platform to get those resources and other opportunities. Take Chloe, for example. Next slide. And here's some examples of our impact here. Here's our student-led projects. And this is an example I love to share. One example of many. So take Chloe, for example. Chloe was a solutioneer with us from 2018 to 2020. So 3 of the 4 years of her college career. And her friends and family, Chloe's parents and Chloe are still monthly donors to this day. Chloe did 4 projects with us, and you can see many examples of that on the screen there. So she, right out of college, interviewed with PepsiCo. Actually, one of our GreenLight alum, already worked at PepsiCo. And so right out of college, she got the job. Sustainability procurement analyst. That is one example of many. Chloe told me that in her interview, GreenLight was all she talked about. Every single question that was asked, it was one of her GreenLight projects. Her entire resume, all GreenLight projects. And this isn't uncommon. I get alumni coming to me over and over again, hundreds of alumni saying the same story. I have my entire desk filled with graduation cards from various alum, and really that's what keeps this movement going and what keeps me going every day. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We've done a lot of great work, but this is a pivotal moment for our organization. It's been challenging, like funding has been challenging, resources have been challenging. And the quote that you saw a moment ago, an organization is only as powerful as its people. Guys, this reigns true more than ever right now. In order for us to continue our work, we need your help. We need everyone in this room to get involved, whether it's volunteering your time, donating monthly. For example, we can continue our student program, 50 students per year, 5 businesses impacted. If everyone in this room became a monthly donor for just $25 per month, okay? If we want to increase that, double that impact, you can do the math there, right? That's to increase our impact. Now, our green event services, we know from our historical data that we got photos here, getting down and dirty at the sort table. We know from our past 28 events that for every $25, we can take 2 trash bags out of the landfill. We know this. For 1 ton, that takes $3,000. So if everyone here became a monthly donor at whatever amount that makes sense for you, you know that you are contributing to our organization allowing to exist and make this impact. I just want to say thank you for everyone being here today. Thank you for being a part of this movement, making this possible. And now I'll give it on to Colin for our community awards. Appreciate you guys. And use those QR codes for the raffle and to get involved. The Get Involved link will take you to the monthly donation link, as well as many other ways that you can get involved in the impact. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Ashley, thank you so much. As you heard, it's a labor of love. We've got to work hard. None of this happens for free. So I encourage you, make that investment now. Now on to the GreenLight Awards. Oh, Bob. All right, well, let's move from IT and security over to the great part, celebrating our additional winners tonight and our gratitude award. So this first one is going to be our purpose-driven award. Now, this purpose-driven award highlights an organization in the GreenLight community that has created meaningful impact and prioritizes environmental, social, and economic well-being. This is an organization that's an internet marketing service company based in Scottsdale, Arizona. They offer online marketing and local search engine optimization services to local businesses across the U.S. With community impact at the heart of what they do, they've donated their services to nonprofits, including GreenLight Solutions, and have partnered with GLS as a project partner on a student-led sustainability project. Their project with GLS aimed to answer the question that many local businesses have. How can businesses make an impact in sustainability if 100% of our team is remote? Their student team, GLS's student team helped this organization member implement an energy efficiency upgrades in their home and create a work from home sustainability guide to share with local businesses to serve as a case study and a resource, bringing a new version of employee benefits to the workplace, not employee health benefits, but employee environmental benefits. So accepting the award today are the Chief Operating Officer and the CEO, Kim Coates and Isaac Navis of Local-Fi. Kim and Isaac, welcome. Thank you for coming, and congratulations to both of you.
Yes, thank you, everyone. So first off, we just want to say thank you for this great honor. To be honest with everyone here, it's a bit of a surreal experience for us. Over 6 years ago, we launched Local-Fi with the idea that a for-profit company could make a positive impact by donating our services to organizations in the community that were already making great positive impacts. The plan was to use our marketing skills to really highlight these organizations, bringing them more presence online, allowing them to reach more people to make a greater impact. The first company we ever reached out to and helped to donate our services to help them with their Google business profile was GreenLight Solutions. The co-founder of GreenLight, Kevin, was so receptive to this idea. And even though Local-Fi at the time was just in our infancy, Kevin and GreenLight Solutions trusted us and allowed us to really make a positive impact for their online visibility. And really looking back today, it reminds me of both how much both of our companies have been able to grow in the last 5 years. Since that first experience with GreenLight, we've been able to donate our marketing services to many amazing non-for-profits, including Agua Viva Serves, who helps provide clean water to third world countries, and One Tree Planted, who've helped plant over 20 million trees in the last year alone. And I think it's so fitting that after 5 years, we were in a great place that we were able to become a project partner to GreenLight Solutions, and we were able to create a work from home sustainability guide that can help all these new companies who have work from home employees create new ways for sustainability while they're working from home. You know, with us working together, we're really able to make a huge positive impact on this planet, and we're just so excited to be able to work with GreenLight. We really had a great solutioneer team, so I want to pass this on to Kim, to highlight some of our amazing solutioneers and the people who really made this project possible.
Thank you, Isaac. So time to show some appreciation. Shout out to Taylor McMahon. Thank you for being our project lead. She was honestly fantastic at organizing the project and really making sure that we could get to the final, looking good project. Also, I want to thank Taylor Fisher, Sunandani, Jillian. I know you're not here today, but we really appreciated all the work, and management team. Shout out to Ashley, Of course, Megan, Michael, for their amazing energy and constant dedication. A huge thank you to the board of directors with GreenLight Solutions as well for your continued dedication to empowering future sustainability leaders. And lastly, thank you to everybody in this room, because like many of the others have said already, you are making an impact just by being here and supporting the businesses who are doing the work and donating, etc. So thank you, GreenLight, for this honor and for this opportunity to have the GreenLight Gratitude Award. Thank you.
Kim and Isaac, thank you again. Let's keep moving forward here. What I'd like to move on now is our Forward Thinking Award. This one's going to be a little bit of a surprise. So this features an individual in the green light community that is carving a unique path and disrupting the status quo. This individual is an account executive with Medici Global, providing digital marketing solutions to small and medium businesses. Now, here's kind of the fun part. This individual actually helped found GreenLight Solutions, this great student organization, back in 2013, and has founded the nonprofit sister of it and served as the executive director, board member, and currently serves as a director emeritus of this organization. The idea for GreenLight Solutions was this person's undergraduate honors thesis, and he was also selected as Entrepreneur of the Year for his work co-founding GreenLight Solutions. This is out of 70,000 students here at the entire university, folks, and today still helps provide the vision, the inspiration, and a lot of the heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Kelleher. He's a man of few words with great impact. That is efficiency, ladies and gentlemen, right? Just circumvents the mic drop and just goes right to the picture. Congratulations, Kevin. Round of applause again. All right, next up, our third out of 4 for our solutioneers in our work is the Equitable Empowerment Award. This highlights an individual in the green light community that breaks down the barriers of sustainability and creates a culture of anything is possible. This individual is a professor here at Arizona State and specializes in zero waste, net positive energy, and water. This person has served as a solutioneer mentor for GreenLight Solutions for 2 years, has dedicated countless hours in mentoring GLS solutioneers in career readiness and project success. His 3 student project teams have published a green event planning workbook, analyzed algae bioreactors, that's awesome, and led outreach for a community-based EV charging company. Ladies, today, accepting virtually is Professor Jacob Betham. Congratulations to Professor Betham.
Hey everyone, I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but I wanted to give a special thanks for recognizing me with this award. It was always the most fun that I had learning whenever I had projects with real impact, and so this is just a way for me as an instructor to give back and allow other students that opportunity to build their resume with these really cool projects. So keep up the good work, and I hope to keep the connection. Thanks.
Congratulations, Professor, again. Thank you for that investment. Time, talent, treasure gives all of it. Our last one for the evening is the Solutions-Oriented Award. And this highlights an organization in the GLS community that puts theory into practice and goes beyond advocacy into action. This is a full circle service organization in Phoenix Valley organization that makes it easy, you're probably going to get the giveaway here, to turn your food waste back into productive farmland opportunities. They provide compost pickup services for residential and commercial. I think that's really notable, and sells fresh, non-toxic produce. So your compost is used to grow the fresh produce directly on their farm. This organization first started its partnership in 2015 with GreenLight Solutions. Talk about staying power. They've led student sustainability projects, conducted market research, and produce marketing materials to raise awareness about composting food scraps at home. For many years, they've worked with GreenLight Solutions and have over 5 events in providing the solutions from a composting basis and diverted, wait for it, over 6 tons of food waste working together over the last 5 projects. So today, accepting this on behalf of our city is the founder of the organization, JD Hill. Congratulations, JD. Thank you for being here. Congratulations. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations again. Now, afterwards, we will make sure not to shortchange our two wonderful panelists as well. We will have a photo opportunity in your wonderful placard as well here at the end of this. Well, folks, sun's getting low. It's Friday night. The happy hour set up outside. No, really, it's tapas and hors d'oeuvres. We can't do that on a university campus, right? This isn't Caltech, for crying out loud. That's what I do. It's just bump, bump. That's the electric bus that I was backing up over Mike right there. Well, who is ready to hear the results of our raffle? Who wants to be a winner tonight? Now, here's the thing. These results have not been independently audited by EY, okay? I just want to make sure that's perfectly clear. So if anybody wants to contest something, take it up with PricewaterhouseCoopers, KPMG, Deloitte, definitely was not EY. But I've got some of our winners right here. Thank you for the sealed envelope. I will try not to pull a Steve Harvey tonight. Does anyone remember that moment? Congratulations, Miss America. Oh, I'm sorry, you're actually number 2. We're gonna go here in order of winners with our very first mystery box. Are you ready? Could it be you? Remember, must be here. Number 1, mystery box. Mackenzie Montgomery! Woo! Number 2, mystery box. Could it be you again? I don't know. You're like, wow, that's great luck. We got to bottle some of that. Exactly. Not me, remember, not EY. Rigged. Number 2. He's a staunch and stalwart supporter of our students, collaborations in the university and beyond, driving executive education and partnerships at the university. Mr. Ryan Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, mystery box numero 3. Are you ready to rumble? I can make my voice lower, like a movie announcer. Mystery box number 3. Before finals get out, is going to Ruth Holman. Ruth, where are you? Ruth, yes, I like it. You talk about overcoming adversity. Ruth comes up to me out there as the MC. She's like, look, internet's not working. I want some prizes. I got to get some cash. You know what she does? She doesn't whine. This is a place about action at GreenLight Solutions. I bet she was impressed and inspired by all of this testimony today. She walks right outside, dials for dollars, takes home a mystery box number 3. Thank you, Ruth. We appreciate that. Let's go for, is this the second one? Let's do this one. All right. You ready for the big ones? Oh, yeah, you're pumped, aren't you? Fantastic. The Surface, 1 second. Let me, the auditor is just going to confer right here. Turn this way. I'll start with that one. All right. We're going to do the Surface laptop number 2. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you for the suspense. The first name starts, actually, let's have some fun, okay? If your first name starts with an S, put your hand up. If your first name starts with an S. Okay. Okay. Is Sierra Hernandez present? Sierra, yes, let's do it. There you are over there. Okay, the big Mugamba coming here tonight. If your name starts with an X, please, no, I'm joking. You're like, wow, that is really specific. Mystery is over, right? If your name starts with an ampersand, no, that'd be even cooler, as a matter of fact. You're like, actually, it's just the ampersand. You call me ampersand. If your name starts with a D, as in, I'm not going to say it. If your name starts with a D, let's raise that hand. Who's got a name that starts with a D? Okay, we've got it. Oh, okay, there's 3 right here. Do you think we should do like an arm wrestling contest? Okay, okay, are we ready to do this? Remember, this is a competition, okay? There is no friends in this, right? You want to win. Dawn Ratcliffe, ladies and gentlemen. Well, folks, thank you. Before I turn it over to Ashley, every one of you tonight has shown your commitment, your passion, and your desire to show up, to have not just advocacy, but move that into action, to recognize that there are pressing and significant issues facing our world, our peoples, domestically and abroad. But you are showing up with your contributions, with your prior and continuing service, with your dollars, with your advocacy, and your support here for GreenLight Solutions. So thank you for letting me spend time with you again. I'm Colin Tatro, and I'll pass it back over to close up to Ashley Wiseman.
All right. Well, we will start to say our farewells, but before that, I wanted to give a little bit of insight on, well, what I think on the outlook of workforce development and sustainability. I've been having many conversations with different departments at ASU, with dozens of small to medium businesses, with students, with professors, faculty, with ASU wanting to get more applied learning in their curriculum, with Local First Arizona, the Nature Conservancy. And it's really interesting that all these conversations end up in the same place. So we all identify the same resources, the same services that are needed, the gaps in sustainability currently for workforce development and for the resources that are needed for small to medium businesses. And GreenLight's really well positioned to provide those. So we've been having these collaborative conversations, and again, the sky's the limit. The only limit now is really the people coming together to volunteer your time and donate in order for us to bring those services to the people that need it most. Before you leave tonight, take that Get Involved code, okay? There are a few different ways to get involved. Monthly donor, whatever amount makes sense for you. It all really makes an impact for us. There are other ways to get involved. If you're not sure how to get involved, schedule a call with me and we'll point you in the right direction. There are opportunities for students, colleges, professionals, businesses, and students alike. So everyone here, get involved. That's my one ask of each of you today. So before you leave today, get involved, and then also meet a few people that you haven't spoken to before. Because I promise you, the people in this room, they're gonna help you make an impact in one way or another, whether it's now, 10 years from now. That's what this community is all about. So thank you so much for being here today, and have a good night. Enjoy dinner, and goodbye to the virtual attendees as well. Thanks, guys.